Do you ever open your closet and think, why did I buy that? I definitely have, a lot. But not since shopping with Quince. I see fewer misses and a lot more hits that I'll be wearing season after season. Quince has all the seasonal must-haves, like 100% European linen shirts from $30, performance polos, and versatile activewear. The best part of all, Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of all the middlemen and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. I really like that. I just got 2 shirts. I ordered a third. It's coming in a week. I got 2 shirts. I just got them a couple days ago. The quality is unmatchable. I love them. They feel great. They fit great. That's why you got to shop at Quince. Fill your closet with timeless pieces that you'll be wearing for summers to come with Quince. Go to quince.com/Bubba for free shipping on your order and a 365-day return policy. That's QUINCE.com/Bubba to get free shipping on your order. And again, the 365-day return policy. Quince.com/Bubba.
Here we go.
All right. Welcome to the ladies of the BRN. Not sure if that's the final name, but we're working with that right now. I am obviously one of the ladies of the BRN, which is why I'm hosting this. This has been a couple months in the works. I want to make sure that I introduce everybody that's here. We got 4 with us today. We have Merch Crick Erica. Erica has done a lot of preparation, printed out a bunch of topics, and has been a big reason why we're doing this today. How are you doing, Erica?
I'm doing great.
Are you nervous?
Excited to be here. A little nervous, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. I hope so, because, man, I need some fun right now in my life. Heather Wiz, you are Bubba Army royalty. I want to get into your whole story, but you are here. You are part of this little quartet that we have. Are you part of this every week or every time we do this? Not every week, but
I don't know. That's up to me to decide, but I will be happy to be here whenever you guys want me.
Okay. All right. So we got Heather Wiz over there. And then in Lummy's seat, we have Ashley of House Garrison. Mrs. Lummy, Ashley, welcome to your own podcast.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Yes, absolutely. Now, have you, I don't know how this idea was broached at all. Are you looking forward to this? Is this something that you wanted to do, or you could live without this and be just fine?
I'm looking forward to it. It wasn't necessarily on my bucket list of life, but now that it has been proposed to my bucket, I am happy for it to be part of my life.
Yeah, we're just looking to do things, and I think this is something, Bubba brought to me, and this is, we're looking to mix things up here on the podcast, so, why not? Why not go ahead and do the ladies of the BRN? And then we also have Maria Guatemala. Maria, are you excited to be on the podcast?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We're going to get used to Maria because she's, she's very nice, but it sounds like she's being mean, which I think is really funny. So have you wanted to do anything like this, Maria? Or are you kind of like Ashley, like, once it was proposed to you, you're like, yeah, I'm down?
Yeah, I never thought about it before.
Okay. All right, perfect. All right, let's go look at Erica's list of topics, and let's kind of go over, some of the first stuff. Can you tell us about the engagement?
Oh, okay. That's where we're going to start.
Yeah.
Hot seat right away.
Well, I figured it's something that we haven't heard about, on the morning show, because Bubba, he hasn't really, we know it happened, but we don't know how it happened. He acted like he just tossed you a ring. So I figured, why not get it here with all the ladies?
Publicly, everybody learned of the engagement after the Eric Andre show. However, we were engaged quite a while before that. So
what happened? Bubba said that he went and he got you guys picked out the ring together. I mean, I don't know how much is this true. I don't want to put you in a precarious situation by telling the truth, but Bubba will be okay. He's okay with anything on the podcast.
I'm going to be authentic on this.
Okay.
For quite some time, I wore an engagement ring. I lost the diamond several months ago here at the studios. And once I lost it, I was frantic. And at that time, he said, we're going to get you a custom ring that I'll actually marry you with. So at that time, I was excited about getting a new ring. But then I found the diamond. And I said, I guess, I'm just going to put it back in the setting. And he said, no, we're going to get you a custom ring done. And then we went to Augustine Jewelers. and they did an impeccable job at designing the perfect ring. And that's the ring I'm currently wearing, and that's the ring that I handed him at the Eric Andre show.
Was that the proposal? Was that the official proposal? Is, hey, we're going to go get this ring together?
Yeah, and that's the one we're going to get married with.
Okay. All right. And you're down for the wedding under the bridge in Indiana?
Oh, that's always been our intention is Chinworth Bridge.
Did you ever think that he was going to propose to you?
Technically, I was the one that proposed to him, but that was quite a while ago.
Really? Is this? Ladies, jump in here with me. Do you know about this?
She's not the only one.
Okay. All right. So,
Wait, you're engaged too to Bubba?
I just wanted to make sure. I'm
Sister
not.
wives.
We're all finding this out together. Okay, perfect. Because I was gonna.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yeah.
So
You proposed to Bubba.
I did.
Go on.
It didn't quite go very well. Some of the listeners may have remember that era of "I'm never going to marry again. I'm never going to marry again. I'm never going to marry again." I had to hear that on the show every other day.
And did that bother you?
No.
Okay.
Not
And
at
so
all.
your retort
I knew our
was,
love-
"I'm going to propose."
I knew our love, would endure those times, and eventually, he would come around.
Well, how did the proposal actually go?
That may be something that he doesn't want me to get into.
Okay. All right.
Those type
Did you
of
get down on
specifics.
bended knee?
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Ladies, I'm not going to continue to press her
no,
because she brought up the Bubba thing, but I just want to know if you guys had any questions that
She
might
said
be
her safe word.
that might be
We have to stop.
In the void, I'm just gonna fill in the space. Is like Bubba was up on the grader, and Merch Crick looked up at him with love in her eyes and was like, "You're gonna marry me," and he's like,
Just say Chinworth Bridge has been a very special place for us for a long time.
Heather, I wanted to ask for people that don't know, how did you get involved with this Bubba Army situation?
That is an excellent question. It's been a very long road. I actually started listening to Bubba back when I was, I want to say like a preteen on Q102 in the evenings in Philadelphia. And I'm like, who is this crazy guy? And it was all like 90s pop, and he sounded miserable, absolutely miserable. And then disappeared off the radar until I was a huge Stern fan, and I was on Stern Fan Network. And this was, 1906, back in the Sirius days. And they did all these bump-in leads up to, Stern's first day. And they made Bubba do, he had to do this thing with High Pitch Eric. And he had to go in his apartment. And you could just hear in his voice, like he sounded like he was ready to vomit. And High Pitch right? And High Pitch makes everybody vomit anyway. And it was
Who's Kelly Clarkson?
Right? Oh. So, they did all this lead up, and I was like, oh, I'm absolutely going to listen to this guy. We got on Stern Fan Network, and I don't know if anybody remembers back in the day, the message boards back in the day were, I know people complain about chat, but the message boards were even worse. I mean, it was brutal, absolutely brutal. So I would get on there and I'd be like, give him a chance, and he sounds great. And I was really,
Oh, that's always a losing battle when you're trying to defend somebody on a message board.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of ballsy, so that's
No.
tell me I can't do something. I'm like,
No, we appreciate that. No, I'm just saying that's like fucking Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, where it's like, everybody's coming at him, and then he just pulls out the sword, and luckily he got saved. But no, I appreciate. So you were defending Bubba on message boards.
Yeah, and then of course Bubba, he was looking at the message boards, probably saying he wasn't looking at the message boards. And I've always had like the little avatar, and I have like a cute face. And he got on the air one day, and he was like, this Stern Fan Network, and have you guys seen this Heather Wiz girl? And I was like, oh shit. Oh no.
So it was a cute avatar. That's how you got on his radar?
Yeah. That was it wasn't me defending him, because Lord knows he doesn't need that. It was that. So it all kind of started from there. And I was a mod on the message board, so I was trying to, keep things neat and tidy, which was just an absolute uphill battle all the time. And Bubba had started doing a State of the Bubba, and it was somebody else that was doing it. It was one of the other guys from Pennsylvania, and he was just a super fan, but he was not mentally well, like all of us, I guess. But he was really very unwell. So he kind of was like, I think I want Wizzy to do some of this, and kind of transitioned me in there. And it's been all just chaos and Bubba Paloozas and just a lot of fun since then. So
well, I mean, did you haven't lived in Florida your whole life, have you?
No, I moved here about 4 years ago.
Okay. And is that just was that random or just because you heard Bubba talking about this area? I know you don't live right here, but.
No, it just took me 2.5 hours to get here.
I know. Holy shit. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I love being able to do stuff like this. And this group of ladies has become, like family to me, and it's just going and hanging out with friends. So this is great. But no, I moved here. I wanted to go to South Carolina, and it was COVID, and everything was locked down, and I was miserable in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, that's it. I'm by myself in a house, and I work from home. I can do this anywhere. I want to be somewhere where it's warm. And I had met a nice guy down here, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy a house, and I'm going to see where things go. And if I don't like it here, I'll have an investment property in Florida, and I'll move somewhere else.
Hell yeah.
I'm staying. I love it here, so I'm not going anywhere.
Was okay? Was that man Iggy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know what's true and what's not true, guys.
No, thank you for asking, because there's a lot of it's like the Bubba Army Days of Our Life drama sometimes, and there's some of it's not true. So by all means, please ask.
Yeah. Well, what are people saying? I mean, what are people saying? What are people saying?
How long of a podcast are we going to have?
Well, I mean, listen. Again, I'm interested in these things because I've never heard. What are there rumors about you? Is it rumors about?
Not anymore. I'm just old and boring. So
okay. What was all right? Anything going on back in the day or?
Oh, back in the day, well, that whole relationship didn't work.
Okay.
And I think some of it was, like the Bubba Army is fantastic, but sometimes people like to create drama, and it is days of our lives.
Okay.
And people are on the chat rooms and they're sending messages. And
so when you were together, it was hard because
because there were other people just kind of sticking their nose in there, and so that and I always respected that. Was one of the things I respected about Bubba and Erica, and we want to know about the engagement. We want to know these things, but respectfully, it's you kind of have to keep it to yourself sometimes, because complete strangers will just insert some insane narrative in there and really mess your stuff up.
All right, thank you for covering that. I'm glad we got through your fandom, and we got through it pretty quickly. I feel like if Bubba went through your history, it would take like 2 hours. Let's get to Ashley. Ashley married into this family. You weren't like into Bubba or anything before Lummy, were you?
No, I didn't know who Bubba really was until I met Lummy.
Have you been like in Tampa Bay for a while?
Yeah, I was I'm from Florida, so I started over in Orlando. But he wasn't on in Orlando when I lived in Orlando. And then I've been in Tampa for like 14 years.
Okay, so when you met Warren, as I I like to call him, as I saw him with his hair down today.
His given name.
What and then you started. What did he tell you? Like, I'm on the radio? I would imagine you were interested in listening to some of his stuff. I mean, right? When you first start dating somebody, you're interested in them, right? I mean, I thought that's how it goes.
Yeah. So we met at Rick's on the River. One of his friends was trying to show off that he knew somebody famous, and showed up with Lummy, Warren, SJL, and then one of our other friends. And
what a trio.
Right. And the guy introduced him, and I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know why we're marking out to this person. I'm just here to have fun and dance and drink. But then we started chit-chatting and ended up talking for quite a while. Just he and I exchanged numbers and talked quite a bit over the next couple of days. And I tuned into the show, heard some things being talked about, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy likes to get around. That's not really my style.
Oh, wow. Good. Because Warren was he was seeing some people, right, at the time? Was he going through that phase?
Yes, okay. He was in his man whore phase.
I think that's right. And that's what I was working here.
That's slut.
And that's what I was working here the first time. So I didn't know Lummy. I knew Lummy was going through hell with the fish business, and I knew, Lummy was drinking, and they were talking about, maybe a married chick that he was with or something. But I mean, that all seemed to go out the window pretty quickly after he met you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to whip him into shape.
And you did that. So what do you think overall just about from the last time that I was here, just Lummy has just ascended and is just like has really turned into an executive producer. I mean, he knows everything about the show. He knows everything that's going on. He knows every single listener. Have you seen that growth with him as well?
Yeah, one of the things I love about Lummy is if he's going to do something, he's going to do it 110%. And so he loves everybody on the show now. And he dives into learning things. Like he taught himself to edit videos. He taught himself to edit the audio. He will research. I'm looking at his screen right now. He's got 4 screens up, and I would lose my mind if I had to do, actually 5 screens. I would lose my mind if I had to do this. And he's just so passionate about everything that he does that he's going to do it better than anybody would have ever expected. And I know he doesn't get a lot of credit for his knowledge that he has and whatnot, because sometimes his words don't match his brain. But, he has grown tremendously. When he and I first met, I think he was on part-time. Every once in a while, he'd be on an after show. And a couple months after we met, he got moved to full-time. And he's like, oh, I'm just filling in for a minute. And now he's the EP of the show. And it's crazy to watch him blossom and grow.
What did you, and Maria, obviously we're going to get to you, but when Lummy was named EP of the show, tell me, as all you ladies that listen, well, I guess we'll start with Ashley. What did you think?
I was really excited for him. I think he's been doing it for a while. He's obviously stood by Bubba throughout the years. He had to take a ellipsis from his employment here due to some other people that aren't in his life anymore.
Lummy is a nice guy, so he's had a lot of people that have just completely taken advantage of him.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he needs somebody like me to be his backbone and keep people in check. No, it's just really exciting to watch him.
Because if you remember, it came off the heels of he was at the music festival doing his thing, making some extra money. Bubba was talking about on air how he wasn't happy about it, and Lummy didn't know what he was walking into, and then it became a whole you're going to be executive producer, and can't be easy to hear Bubba say these things sometimes about our Lum, but did that surprise you the way that all kind of the way that all played out?
So in full disclosure, I was extremely busy at work that Friday and Monday, so I didn't know anything was going on.
Oh, good. Okay, that's for the best then.
And so on Tuesday, I think is when he got the title. It was a shock to unravel all of it at the same time.
Oh, wow.
But it was cool. I appreciate Bubba recognizing his efforts, and obviously you, Seth, for recognizing it as well.
Oh, thank you. I love Lum. I know that people say that I'm only here for myself and shit like that, but when you see somebody that's working hard and they're ascending and all that stuff, Bubba sees it, but Bubba doesn't see it all. So that's the first thing I said when I came back in here is what a great job and how much improved Lummy is just across the board. Maria.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm so good. You and I are cool?
Oh, yeah, we're cool.
Okay, all right. Now, we were talking outside beforehand about what we were actually going to discuss on the show, and I was talking to Erica, and I said, Erica had a prep sheet, I had a prep sheet, and I go, we'll just do a fusion, and Erica goes, what's that? And then Maria goes, it means we'll do both, and she's like, yeah, see, no language barrier there. So, Maria, I'll ask you guys about Lummy in a second, but I want to get your story because you married into this family with No Name Willie, right?
That's right.
Okay, so, and I'm curious, and I hope that you don't take this the wrong way, which I don't think you will. How did you become a fan? Unless No Name Willie really did some mind shit on you. How did you become a fan with if I went to a different country and I heard people that were speaking English, but it was if it was you or something like that, and they were telling jokes, I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't understand it all. This is an inside show. It's very, very complex. Maybe you're just very, very smart. How long did it take you to start really understanding the show and the jokes and the characters and what was happening?
Well, it took me maybe a month when I start actually listening to the show. When I met my husband, he had been listening to the show. He says since Bubba came to Tampa, which I really don't know when that was. But yeah, he was always listening to the show, and he would watch like 199. And the only thing that I would watch was 199 because it was music. But when he was listening to the show, I was like, I didn't even pay attention. Then I got a job with him. He's my boss now.
Okay. Just how he planned it.
Yes. So every morning he would put the show on, and at the beginning, like the first couple of weeks, I'm like, that's stupid. Like, well, some of the stuff I couldn't even understand what was going on. But some of the stuff I'm like, why do you even listen to this? This is so stupid. But I had no choice because he would put it on every morning. So after like a month, maybe, I started like to understand like all the jokes and stuff. And then after that, I think it was September, and I remember Barb was January, and they were talking about the party and all that stuff. And he was never here before, even though he works block away from here. He's like, oh yeah, I know he's there, but I'm not gonna go bother people. Like, he's very shy, so he never did anything. He will just listen to the show. That's it. And when they came up with the Diacos shirt contest,
Save the Diacos tank tops.
Mm-hmm. That's when I told him I wanted one. So he said, okay, I'll get you one. So we ordered one, and that's how actually I met Erica, because we were going to get it, but shipping, I was like, we're not going to pay shipping. It's like a block away. So I just emailed, and Erica told me, yeah, you can come get it. And that's how we met. That's how I met Erica.
Okay. And have you guys have been friends since that moment?
Pretty much.
Wow. And
Yes.
that's when you just started getting into the show. The t-shirt kind of unlocked everything for you?
Yes.
Do you find it hard to like communicate without using the terms of the show now? Because I do. Like, I'll try to communicate with somebody who's not in the Bubbaverse, and I'm like, oh, they were marking out to this person. I know that's a wrestling term, but I only know it because of the show. And they're like, I don't know what you're trying to say to me.
I do not use any terms outside of here. No.
What I mean, Erica, what's it like for you at home? I mean, I know he's not changing his language. Like that's how he is. So, but
no,
do you talk like that? Do you like, what's this gimmick going on over here or what?
Oh, I follow along. Say it. Marking out, you name it. It started out with yellow, and progressed from there. So I know the lingo. I don't necessarily repeat it,
Right.
but I follow along.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. I just don't use it.
Yeah, no, listen.
I call Lummy Cuzzy like religiously at home. He's like, dude, I'm your husband. I'm like, whatever, Cuzzy.
I do say, I've got this mark that I'm dealing with, or, somebody's marking out. How do you want to handle this? So I there are certain terms I do use, but for the most part, I talk normal.
The fun thing is that getting to run Bubba's Twitter with Lummy is I get to act like I'm Bubba sometimes. So I'll tweet like, settle down there, cuzzo, or I'll try to take something that I know that, sounds like him, and man, people really buy all that stuff. Heather, are you using any of these terms? I mean, you've been around it for so long.
Yeah. It finds its way into my fun life. For work, I have to watch my vernacular impeccably. You
have a serious job.
I do have a very serious job. So I got to mind my P's and Q's. So I have to behave. My friends are like, oh, you're hilarious. And that's always my way of going, I know they're not Bubba fans because they just think I'm funny because I'm using, show lingo and stuff. And I'm like, I borrowed this from a friend because it's hilarious. It's great. But like, I know I can talk to Ashley, and I can get going, and we do not have Bubba impressions. We don't do that. But
how would you guys explain the Bubba Army?
I think it's mostly good. That's the one thing I want to say is like, I touched on it a little earlier, like with the ick part, but it's 100% mostly good. Like, I really came to Florida not having any friends outside of the Bubba Army, and I have a family here now. So that's the good part is you can go to, like, I've been all around the country going to Bubba Paloozas and have met new people, and they're lifelong friends now at this point. Like Scout and Big Gulp, I could pick up the phone no matter where they are in the country and be like, I need a friend, and they're there for me. So just absolutely salt of the earth, incredible people from, the neurosurgeons to the truck drivers. Just really, right? And KP is just hilarious. But salt of the earth, good people, no matter, what kind of job they have. So that's, it's an incredible family. Is it a little cult-like? Absolutely. And it's a lot of fun. And, if I could have the level of adoration and create my own cult, doing something I love, 100% I would do it too. I don't blame Bubba at all for tolerating our insanity as a group from the fans. So
yeah, I mean, and we embrace anybody that's coming in, and as long as you're not a crappy person, like we're all loving of each other. We like to have fun together. Like Heather said, we at a drop of a hat, if you need something, pick up the phone and we're going to do everything for you. I mean,
who talks the most, like, between you guys? Like, Heather, like, who do you talk to the most? Like, Ashley, who do you talk to the most out of, in the Bubba Army? Are you guys all the tight ones here, or is this just, who we could round up for the first episode?
The ones who live in Florida. Yeah. I think probably in this room, when I see Maria and when I see Erica, absolutely, like they're my girls. Ashley and I text occasionally. I keep to myself down there in South Florida. I'm busy. I work out. So I don't hang out outside of the group. But then when we do get together, well, I'm lying. That's not true. Like I did Christmas with Ashley.
Okay,
and
there we go.
So like, it is like, but it's not. We don't need to be up each other's butts, I guess.
Right. Well, yeah, you guys got lives. I mean,
we're all busy women. Erica, I don't know how she maintains everything she does, having to take care of Bubba and the business.
I mean, the work's piling up right now that she's here. I mean, the longer I take this podcast,
Right?
the worse it's going to be.
Right?
She's going to work overtime. Doing orders.
I just wanted to chime in and say, for me, originally, the Bubba Army, wearing the Bubba Army gear, I wore it for many years. However, I wasn't quite listening to the show, and for me, it was in support of the man that I love. But once I started listening, and once I actually got entrenched into being a part of, the Bubba Army, as the merch crick, I then learned that it's much more than what I thought it was. It's a family. And especially for Bubba, we have the Get Fresh crew that has been there, that I could call on them and they would be there.
Those are great dudes. I still don't know why they do some of that stuff they do, but they're awesome.
John Costica, the people that'll text me and, reach out and kind words and, from my son graduating to, them being concerned about Bubba, especially this past weekend with Father's Day. They genuinely love each other. We all love each other. We've been there for each other through hard times. And like any family, there's sometimes disagreements, and I've seen it, and they've come to me, wanting me to try to interject. And
are you the leader?
And to make peace. And no.
I think
No,
I think you might be.
I'm the person that tries to diffuse the situation.
You're the filter.
And, explain that, just like any family, you're going to have somebody that's going to make you mad. You're going to have somebody that's going to hurt your feelings. But, we come together as a family during hard times. And I think we most recently, with Joe the Supermarket and his mom dying, I think everybody understood the pain that, he endured as losing his mom, and his mom was, a part of the show. I think that no matter what, we're still all a family. We don't always see eye to eye. Sometimes we disagree. Sometimes we get mad at each other. I've noticed, even some hate for me in chat that I've just went ahead and decided, I'm just not even going to look at that.
Yeah, or it's everybody.
But overall, we're still all part of the Bubba Army, and we're a family. And you don't have to buy merch, and you don't have to always like everything that's being said politically, or right now I get a lot of the emails, as you do, Seth, and it's not all about politics. People want to make it all about politics.
Yes.
But life is about living and loving, and having fun and enjoying the show and not taking everything they say personally, or, we love Canada. Go Canadians.
What is there? I haven't seen any emails about Canada. Are we getting hostility?
I'm just saying.
Okay. Oh my God, Canada! Stop bringing hostilities towards the merch crick.
We love you.
Holy crap!
So, that's what I want to say about the Bubba Army.
Okay, I think that. Are you the go-between for if people are having concerns about Bubba? Do people come to you, or are you just saying if people have issues just with anything?
Oh, I think I'm the person people go through before they approach Bubba with a question.
Oh.
They kind of run it through me. How's he going to take this? Should I ask or shouldn't I? And it usually goes really well when it goes through me. Sometimes if they go straight to him, it doesn't quite.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he tries his best to. You have to understand, he gives 110% from the time he wakes up in the morning to the time he goes to sleep. It's nonstop dedication to his fans, to, the show, making it better, his crew. I mean, Seth, Lummy, Rhett, Macho. I mean, he wants to make sure that everybody understands how important they are. And he doesn't always, deliver it the right way. But in his heart, he loves the fans. He loves the show. It's what he lives for. And, sometimes when chat brings him down and is hurtful, they don't realize how much it gets to him, or how, he's.
I think they do. That's why they do it. I know I don't want to get you off track because I really like what you're saying about Bubba giving this perspective, but my theory on chat is that people, they want to be seen. And I think the best way to be seen, is to be negative, to be excessively negative. And I think people know how to push buttons. I think people know, I see people that try to, get me into stuff that, maybe my first time I was here, I would have got, sucked in on, but, I'm avoiding it this time because I feel like that's what people want. So that's just my take. I feel like people really do know what they're doing, which is what really sad.
I think people forget that this is ultimately show business too. There's a lot of transparency on the show, but things get played up. So when Bubba's yelling, it's to get that reaction, get the fans engaged. And, I personally have seen emails or people reached out to me I can't believe he's talking to Lummy that way. And I'm like, if Lummy's okay with it, he's a grown ass adult. He can make the decision to take it or leave. So if he's fine with it, be fine with it.
Yeah.
And right now, Lummy is in the car right now with Walker, by the way. So as Walker's taking his nap, Lummy is in there. So Maria, and we're going to talk about Walker's hand in a second here. Maria, when did you, get in with all these ladies, and when did you become such a big part of the show? When you get in chat in the morning, all of the horny boys are talking to you. Good morning, Maria. Hello, beautiful. You come in there with the peach emoji, which is also known as a butt. You're putting that right in there, getting the boys all ready to go. So when did you kind of get into that, and how much a part of your morning ritual is the show?
Well, it was really after I came here to the first BARP that I got invited by Erica, because I can tell you after, I know them and we see each other maybe at some events, but after 8 years, I can tell you now I have a best friend here, it's Erica. And
rude.
We've been, no.
I was going to say, but.
No. I've made friends, for example, Trickney, Ashley, sometimes we go out for lunch.
Oh, really?
It's been a while, but yes. She's very nice and.
She seems nice.
We're friends, but with Erica being so close, we see each other pretty often. We do lashes, nails, other stuff.
Maria's taught me all of my cheats, and she's been there for me countless times when I've broke down in the smart car. She's come and got me because the crew can't come and save me.
Oh, I thought you meant emotionally broke down. You meant actually physically broke down.
The smart car has broke down on occasion, and Maria's come and picked me up. I've been stranded, at the rental car place. Renting a box van to move gym equipment, and she's come and picked me up. She's the person that I'll call her when I'm expecting a FedEx delivery, and I'll tell her, you make sure that he knows our new gate code. And she's she has honestly, become my best friend as well. So,
and that's all through this.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Through the Bubba Army.
And see, if you're not like it ultimately, like, whether it's, I'm not going to say you guys are going to go to lunch with dudes, but I mean, if you go into chat like Trick Knee and, you're not a scumbag and all that stuff and you.
Passion, drive, and patience. The formula of winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything for you to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has it covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices that you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP it needs to be and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Again, ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear liners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you could pay with your HSA, FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
Participate and you actually, either you talk about what's going on the show or, you're just a decent person. Like, people will obviously start to take note of that. Eventually, I don't know how long it's going to take, but you'll get worked into the clique, you'll get worked in with the people that are decent. I mean, shit, look at Gary Cantrell. I didn't even know the guy was just a supermarket, and now he's getting paid. He even got a raise today. So, I mean, it's just, you never know what's going to happen when you're hanging around here. So,
and
We
coming
love
out to
Gary.
the events too. Like the baseball game is a great way for us to actually put a face to the name and exchange phone numbers or whatever it is. And if you shoot us a friend request on Facebook, we may accept it, but I don't know who you are unless you actually message me. So also don't be sad if I haven't accepted
so
it.
you are accepting new members into the BRN women's division.
Yes.
We'd love to have Phoebe.
Well, I mean, I think you can. I think she's in. I think you can
Awesome.
have her.
That's good.
She's just
Fresh meat.
She's a veteran.
She's been through. She's been through. This ride before where I've had her do stuff on the radio and all that, and sometimes it ends really, really poorly. But we were talking about it on the show this week. I got horrified when I heard about it. Like, Walker put his hands on the grill. Lummy was responsible for him at the time.
Yeah, sure was.
Right? I mean, yeah. I mean, I want to make sure I'm getting the story right here, because I don't know if I get the truth from Lummy. But what happened, Ashley?
Warren was grilling for Father's Day. I was calling my parents to wish my dad a happy Father's Day. Walker walked towards the grill, and I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Lummy goes, "Oh no, don't worry about it. I got him. I'm watching him." Not 30 seconds later, Walker walks over to the side of the grill. He didn't put his hands on the actual extremely hot portion.
Oh, okay, all right.
And puts his hands on there and starts screaming. And he's he's 2.5, so he doesn't have the largest vocabulary ever. And he's going, "Mommy, boo-boo, mommy, boo-boo." And I'm like, oh, it's been 45 seconds since I was told that you were watching him. How does this happen?
What was Warren's reaction? Was he trying to put the handle the meat still, or was he? I mean, I would imagine there's a state of confusion there when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, he was in shock. He touching the side. I don't think either of us really realized how hot it was going to be. So he was in shock. I, of course, doubled down and start going into mama mode of, we're going to fix this. Are you okay? Triaging the situation.
Yeah. Oh, you have to.
And thankfully, because it wasn't the top, it wasn't super severe. Just first degree burns, no blistering or anything. But it was scary. It was our first run in with a potentially serious injury, aside from when he went to NICU, but that wasn't an injury.
Are you still upset at Warren?
No, he didn't do it maliciously. it's just, he takes on so much. And I just, like, he can rely on me and trust me to do things. So it's frustrating, but again, he didn't do it maliciously, so I'm not mad at him.
How, and I know that, this isn't one of these situations where, you're going to get caught up with not having invited somebody, or at least I don't think. I think everybody here is invited to Lummy's party. You are putting together Lummy's 40th birthday party. We got people flying in from every single continent to come be here. It just speaks to, how loved Lummy is. I think it's incredible that, you're going through. I know it's not easy to, put this stuff together. This is going to be a big deal.
I hope that this is a huge shit show because those are so fun. So
okay.
I'm just wanting everybody to embrace what they think of when they see Lummy. So is it the long, luscious locks that you saw today? Because it's a dress-up party in case.
Whoa! Is it?
Yes.
What are we dressing up as?
As Lummy.
As Lummy.
Oh my God! What the fuck? I guess I shit. I might have missed that message from you, Ashley.
I feel like it's a pretty easy thing to do. Basketball shorts,
Yeah.
a Gatorade in your pocket, and a T-shirt with some Crocs.
Oh my God! Okay, I had no fucking idea.
Or some baby goats. Or,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to bring in a stuffed goat or two to carry along with you, go for it. If you want to bring in a grill with like blinders on, you can you can do that. I think it's just going to be a really fun night. Like it's going to be a shit show.
Everybody needs to dress up as Warren. People are flying in. Oh my! Here's what I was going to. Are you doing something where he gets a present for 40 days leading up to his birthday?
Yeah, we're doing 40 days of presents till the 40th birthday. So it started 18 days ago.
Okay, and I was very fascinated by this because I'd never heard about it before, and he just could not even explain to me what he got. I asked him after the first night what he got, and he couldn't really even explain it to me. So can you just tell me like some of the things that you've done for him? Because I think that that's awesome and just incredibly thoughtful.
Yeah, they aren't riveting gifts. Like, I don't
but
want
it's just a
anybody
little
to
thing,
Yeah. So I did research on things that came out in 1984 because that's 40 years ago. And it's things from the Ghostbusters being the hottest movie of the year. So he got a Ghostbusters shirt.
Okay.
The Cosby Show aired. So I got him Jell-O. Bill Cosby Jell-O. And so it's just little things here and there.
That's cute though. Like, I mean, I think do you ladies know about this? Have you ever?
I heard about it. I was like, oh, I need a wife like Ashley.
That's what it is, right? Like, I didn't even know something like this existed, and now, I mean, if I don't even get one present for my birthday, I'm going, what the fuck, Right. Lummy's racking it up. He's getting 41.
He has no idea what he has.
Lummy has no idea.
Right?
No, I love Lummy. He's sweet. He's wonderful, but he's such a dope when it comes to that.
He doesn't know how good he has it. Is that?
No, he's a man. None of you do, and I'm not trying to be mean.
No.
I think he knows. I think he appreciates and knows how lucky he is to have Ashley.
I appreciate that you think that.
Oh man.
Our marriage is great, don't get me wrong, but he is a man. Like he's like, oh, cool. And I'm like, do you realize how long this took me to plan and wrap and like print everything out and tape it up? I'm like, this isn't cool. This is, oh my God, you're amazing.
Like bringing it back to the show, I think I saw it actually dawn on his face when he saw how sad Dan was that he didn't, like, he got nothing for his birthday. And then Lummy was like, I got 40 for, and it was like I think it finally, he was like, oh, wow, okay. Like, I think he really got it then, like seeing somebody like actually being really sad about it. I felt so bad for Dr. Dan.
I had no idea about the 40 presents. My husband only wants one thing for his birthday.
Sex?
Yes.
You gotta love that.
I mean, he can have that too. But.
Are you okay with that, Maria? Is that just, you can give that to him, no problem?
Well, I would like to give him something else because he gets that pretty much every day.
No Name Willie's a fucking stud over there. Everybody talks about their sexual droughts, and No Name Willie's just going through it every night. Well, congrats for No Name Willie. I'm glad. That's it's good for him, good for you.
He always has a smile on his face. So she's speaking the truth.
That's why he has no problem standing in the corner for any event that he's here for. All right,
I had to do it to be here today.
What happened?
I had to sleep with my boss.
She had to get an extra hour off.
Erica, we have Mike Keltas on the list. Does everybody have some feelings about that? that situation?
I most certainly do.
And I do.
Okay, well, hey, listen, go Erica, and then go ahead, and then Maria, and then whoever else wants to jump in.
2 days ago, June 17th, was the 1-year anniversary from the incident. And I'm still fighting for justice. You know, I'm still contacting the sheriff's office and the state attorney's office, and I'm still compiling records. And I have definitely, you know, found that there was some shady shit that went down. I mean, obviously, from the incident that was visualized and, you know, spread upon social media, everybody saw what occurred. And it's clear cut, you know, a theft occurred and a battery occurred. And for, you know, for me not to get justice from the system that I, you know, worked for, believed in, and still to this day am trying to fight, you know, to get justice from, you know, I'm bitter, to say the least, and I'm still trying to fight and get the answers. You know, I've uncovered that right after he was read his Miranda rights, a captain at the agency received a call from a burner phone that was an 813 number. I have the full number, but it is out of service at this time. So that captain, right after, you know, he was Mirandized and they were going to arrest him because they had proof of the theft. And the theft at that time was a felony theft. And they didn't have proof of the battery because the Shark Coast Tactical was not being cooperative with giving the surveillance tapes at that time. But they were going to charge him with a felony battery. And I'm sorry, felony theft. And, you know, that captain got a call from an 813 burner. That captain then contacted the sergeant, and I have the phone records of that. The sergeant then showed up at the scene, and at that time they did a non-arrest probable cause affidavit, which is like giving an arrest but an appearance, and let the state attorney's office make the decision instead of putting the handcuffs on him at the scene. And they gave me the excuse at that time that they were doing this because they wanted to make sure that they charged him with the battery as well. And if they got the video evidence of the battery, that they would charge him of both. And Javon McNeil, who is
he was a security guy.
Yeah, he's the security guy. You know, he is a registered felon, so he was going to be charged with felony battery. They didn't.
He's a registered felon?
Yes, he is.
Really?
Cox hired a registered felon for security.
I didn't know that. He's been. I worked with him a lot when I was over there. I had no idea that there was a felony on his record.
Yep.
Shit. Okay. Well, God, you found out a lot, Erica. What else did you find out?
They told me that at the scene.
Oh, okay.
They told me that at the scene. He was a registered felon and he's getting charged with felony battery, but they didn't put cuffs on him at the scene because they didn't put cuffs on Kauta at the scene. So they said, you know, they were referring the charges as well for Javon McNeil for felony battery because he was a registered felon. So that was what I learned at the scene. And within minutes of leaving the scene, I received a call from the sergeant that asked me to go to the station. I found this odd, but I went ahead and went to the station. That's where I've uncovered that the sergeant also got a call from an undercover vice and narcotics detective to meet him in reference to this call.
Jeez.
At the district. And so I went down to the district. I didn't see the undercover. He was obviously, you know, behind the scenes. They came out to the lobby to greet me. And that's when I found out that they were downgrading the value of my phone to a misdemeanor. And it was going to be a misdemeanor theft and a misdemeanor battery. And I said, how did you determine the value of my phone when I still owe over $1,000 on it? How can you sit here and, well, we just Googled and in all honesty, it was, they needed to try to downgrade the situation as fast as possible, you know, and hand it over to the state attorney's office, you know, with the least amount of.
You don't get any benefit of the doubt being former police?
I thought I you know,
I mean, at least listen to you, you know? I mean,
you know, I was hysterical at the scene. I have never been a victim of theft and battery before.
yeah, that's a
Obviously,
jarring video.
I was hysterical by my voice. I do have a squeaky voice, and I can't. I mean, even right now, I could try to sound sexy.
It's good that we all joke. It's good when people were joking about it at the roast. I didn't know it was ever on the table to make fun of, but
No, I'm good with it.
Okay.
It's my voice. I can't change it.
Do you feel like you're going to be able to get justice?
I'm not going to give up.
Okay.
I'm not giving up. I have written letters to representatives at Cox explaining, you know, what happened to me and including the tape. I don't understand how he still has a job. I don't understand how Javon still has a job. I don't understand. And the only thing that makes sense, and I really didn't believe this, but it was once they realized that I was in a relationship with Bubba that everything, you know,
Changed.
Everything changed. You know, everybody knows I went there for an interview for the documentary. Obviously, my questions were about Hulk Hogan and Mike Calta, you know, giving the tape to Gawker and the proof that was, you know, part of the Hogan versus Cox lawsuit. You know, it's public record. So I was confronting him on that. And no one has ever confronted him before. And I didn't even think I was going to actually be granted the interview by him. To be honest with you, I mean, I was at a loss of words at some point because you know.
What happened? You went up and said, "Hey, I want to talk to Mike. You know, I want to interview him." Or
the full videos on YouTube from I want to talk to you about the Hogan sex tape. Mike Calta, I want to talk to you about the Hogan sex tape, and he's you know, at that point, Javon touched me without my permission for the first time, and he said, hey, Nate, no, come here, pumpkin, come here, it's okay. I was just joking because he said, tackle her, and Javon, you know, put hands on me, and that was the first time he put hands on me. And
I just want to like really call out what you just said. He, being Mike Calta, invited you in for the interview. He okayed the interview, said, yes, let's move forward. Come in closer. Give me a hug. Mm-hmm. His acceptance of it. Mm-hmm. So there was no you accosting him or anything of that regard. He said yes.
And
Correct.
he knew it was being recorded.
Correct. I did. I mean, obviously my questions were, you know, came across hostile because, you know, I'm accusing him. Well, I have the proof in front of me, but I'm asking for him to, you know, acknowledge this proof.
He didn't know you had the papers in your hands. That's why he let you in.
Yeah, he saw big tits and said, okay, come here, pumpkin. And, you know, granted me the interview. And unfortunately, you know, it turned out the way it did. It turned out with me being a victim of theft and battery and not getting justice to this day. And, you know, 2 days ago was the 1 year anniversary, and I'm still fighting. And I hope that, you know, the Bubba Army still backs me and you know.
Well, and how have you I mean, I like, you know, Ashley chimed in there. I didn't know how she feels right now about the situation. Maria, you said you had something to say about it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think it's very sad that America is the country that everybody wants to come in anyway, even crossing the border, because it's supposed to be better. But when it comes to this, it's sad that she can't get justice. But in my country, you go to jail just for yelling to a girl over the phone.
Really?
Yes, it's very serious. Anything that's violence or crime against women is really serious.
Oh, shit.
You even have to be careful when you're talking over the phone and you get upset. You cannot yell or...
Well, I would only I think I wouldn't even be able to talk on the phone then. I'd only be able to text my wife if we're not able to yell at each other.
Oh, no, the text is more because you can see there's proof.
Oh.
Evidence. Yes.
Holy moly, okay.
No, it's very serious. Like, they take that very serious. So it's sad that being a third world country is the justice that you get when you get something like she did is way better than here.
What did you think when you first saw the video, Maria?
it was horrible. I thought that, first of all, just looking at him grosses me out. And then she had to hug him. No, I did not like it at all. It was horrible.
Heather?
We can laugh about... I've had a problem with, I can't even laugh about people like, the Minnie Mouse voice and high pitch. And it's like, I've known Erica for a while now, and I've never heard her voice like that. And it still hurts my heart. Like, she was down in my neck of the woods by herself. And I'm like, oh my God, like I would have done anything to stand next to one of my friends during that, just to be there for some, like the fact that she was there by herself just hurts my heart.
I thought about calling you.
Yeah.
I did. I asked my son first if he wanted to go with me, and my son said, no, Mom, no.
Oh, no.
So I did consider reaching out to Heather, and
I'd have been there in a heartbeat, and just I live in that county. So for me, I'm like, if somebody does that to me, am I just going to have to take it as a woman in Sarasota County? Because it's okay, because I'm friends with Erica and Bubba. This is how people get treated in Sarasota County.
As long as they don't know that you're friends with me or Bubba, I think you're okay.
Well, it's such bullshit, though. So it's so frustrating. One, that you had to go through that by yourself, and that you're still having to deal with it, and that it feels like there's not going to be any justice for you. So it's just so frustrating.
Thank you.
Ashley, did you say everything that you felt like you needed to say as far as, him inviting her in there and all that?
I have a lot more to say.
Say it.
No.
Say it, girlfriend.
I think, so I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and...
Oh boy. I'm sorry. Shit.
And
no one's going to hurt you, Seth.
Okay.
You're right.
And when it happened to me, it was back in 2004. There were no laws like there are today where there's a mandatory arrest that happens at the scene. And to have something obviously not be domestic violence, but mirror that and nothing happen is demoralizing for everything that we've worked towards, violence against women, etc. And it's heartbreaking because, you're what, like a third of his size, probably a fourth of his size. And for him to just get away scot-free, like, what does that mean to the grander picture? Like Heather was just saying, of if something happens, what is our response supposed to be? Do we just take it? Do we fight back? Like, do we never get justice? And, his apology that he did on air was not as egregious, but like, it was disgusting. It sounded like he was...
It was more of a slap in the face, yeah.
It sounded like he was introducing a new song. And he's like, welcome back. I may have done something wrong. No, you are a disgusting human being for even considering putting your hands on a woman. He's a terrible human being.
Erica, I know you said you're not going to give up at all, but what are the possibilities, that could happen? Like, could they revisit criminal charges? Or
I've contacted IA. I've contacted, the FBI to do an investigation.
Okay.
I'm not stopping. I believe in the justice system. I have a tattoo on my back of the scales of justice.
You hear that, Sarasota?
I have a sheriff's star tattooed on my back as well. I believe in justice, and I'm not going to give up in the justice system that, I once worked for and I still believe in. I just feel that, the good old boy system played a part. And I saw the good old boy system play a part, when I was a deputy working the road. I know what that is like. I know when you get a supervisor that calls you and tells you to downgrade a call, and you're supposed to use your own discretion. And at that time, your discretion is out the door because you have to go by what your supervisor tells you.
And this is because people are calling in favors like that quickly when things happen?
That's how quick it happened at this case.
Jeez.
I mean, if it's a, say, county commissioner or a judge, or in this case, a semi-celebrity radio show host who was, doing an appearance at a public event, and had, ties to, he has ties, to a lot of people. And obviously somebody with an 813 area code that was able to make a call, directly to a captain on duty at that time. So,
Shit, I don't know, man. I don't know how this all works, but I know that they're in really well with Sheriff Chronister. So
I've heard that as well. And that's disappointing to know that Chad Chronister would do, obviously at the time, I don't think he knew who the victim was. I think that if they knew the victim was former law enforcement, it would have been handled a little bit differently. They got a call to blow in a favor, and, I happened to be the victim. And they didn't know the circumstances. They didn't know there was video evidence. They just blew a call in, which is what unfortunately sometimes happens. And I don't know who it was. I cannot, if I am able to track down who bought that burner phone, and this takes a lot. It's taken me a year of investigating this on my own. And I haven't gotten all of the answers, but I've been putting the puzzle pieces together, and I'm not giving up until I get justice.
So if your packages are a day or two late, fuckers, just she's got an investigation that's going on, okay? It's a one-woman investigation that's been going on for a year plus. So cut her some slack. Just kidding. She's still getting everything out on time.
Anybody that's been Bubba Army as long as I have knows that the merch has never run so good. Like, you would order something and it would be like, hey, that was 3 weeks ago. Bubba's like,
he had Lummy in the backpack in it.
I don't think
bless his heart. But no, it's like you order it and the label gets packed and shipped in like 2 hours. So it's insane how good she is at that.
I mean, I think, and I wasn't here for like the relaunch of the merch and everything, but I feel like Erica, he was able to get back in it because he has you helping him.
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, I tried to help him years ago, right after Nikki left, and I didn't know what I was doing. And, he's part of the media. So we were fulfilling the orders, and I was like, oh, media mail. And, USPS kind of looked into that. And oops, we had to, but I learned a lesson there. And then, Rainbow Rick and
Drunk Kim?
In Drunk Kim. I was going to.
Oh, no, I call her Kim, but I mean, she's drunk,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They took over for a while. I was still doing merch, from the track, but they were doing, took over, and Amazon took over for a little while. But once we, launched it back on our own, I think it's been, easy going. I did a little research on what I needed to do and know that we weren't shipping media mail. And I'm not as good at packing and shipping as Maria over here. She does it 8 hours a day, but I mean, I've put in 12-hour days, especially when it's,
it's a full-time job. I mean, it doesn't ever end. And I see the emails you get. Everybody's complaining that their stuff's hey, I ordered this Tuesday and it's Thursday. Somebody tell the merch crick, where's my shit?
And they're in Alaska.
Yeah, she goes to the post office 6 times a day.
But we did have some issues. We shipped over on March 23rd and 24th. We shipped over 600 packages out of the business center in Tampa because you can't take 600 packages just to the regular USPS. And ask them to scan them all in. So we did have some issues, and I'm still dealing with those issues as of today. But for the most part, everybody's got their packages. I had kept some extra alphas and tumblers aside just in case this were to happen, and for the most part, everybody's gotten their packages. So I'm happy about that. I try to.
You do a great job.
You do an
amazing
best job.
You know what I've learned in the last 10 minutes is you are probably the most tenacious person I know. Like, you are not going to give up on something. No, spiteful, maybe even.
Right down to, getting Bubba to marry me. I was tenacious on that.
I love being around strong women, guys. Just so you know, this is why I really want to be here, just to feel this girl energy and propel me into something like this. All right,
and we smell good too.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. I mean, this is the Bubba's fan over here is wooing your good smell away, but I don't want to touch it, so I'll just take whatever smells I can get. All right, we have I think we've gone the distance. I think that we've covered. We got a lot of things that we didn't talk about. I'm happy with what we covered. I want to just go around the room and just see if there's anything that was on anybody's mind, any topic that anybody wanted to hit, anybody wants to get anything off their chest, whatever, how you feel about the first episode. I'll start with Heather, and if not, all good, and if so, let it rip.
No, I'm absolutely just thrilled to be a part of the Bubba Army. It's always been an honor to kind of be able to be a voice of the Bubba Army. It's unusual that people come to me for that, because I used to call myself a unicorn, and since moving to Florida, I don't do that anymore because it means something entirely different here.
What is it? What is a unicorn? What's a unicorn for a woman?
In Florida, it means that you are a single woman who is open to all kinds of sexual experiences with other couples. Like,
oh, okay.
I'm the single, marginally
that doesn't get
attractive,
tied down with feelings.
Yeah, and that's not me.
Okay, but a unicorn. When you were calling yourself a unicorn,
in the Bubba Army it's a woman who has her shit together and is a huge fan and a daily listener for 20 years.
Okay.
And, I'm a bigger fan than most of the guys are. So for me, that was like I'm not the P1. So for me to be included and kind of given the ability to be the voice of the crew for things here and there, it's an honor. So I just try and use my power for good, not evil.
Well, you're very good. You're very polite in chat, and hopefully more people will follow your lead.
They won't.
Maria, anything? Do you want to continue to be a part of this? When we do it, how are you feeling about everything? Anything you want to leave the people with?
Well, I did like it, and I'll be back whenever you want me to come back. Just get a drink ready for me. And no, I really liked it, and what I've learned today is like maybe Bubba needs to start a new series and should be Erica Investigates now.
That's a good idea. I feel like Bubba would any idea that you pitch that involves Erica, Bubba's always very quick to shoot down. So I know that that's at least been my experience, but I look forward to pitching him that idea. And Maria, I hope you're okay that I was not going to sexually terrorize you to gain entry into our country. So I hope you're okay with
no,
that.
I'm okay. It was funny.
Okay, all right, just making sure. There's other scumbags on the show. Ashley, anything that Lummy said he was going to do.
I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Married to the scumbag.
Sorry you had to hear that. I think he was forced into that decision by Bubba. But anything that you want to, I know you're very opinionated right now. I mean, anything you want to leave the people with, want to let them know about the Bubba Army, yourself, your husband, or are you cool?
Well, one, I'm obviously cool. No, I love the family that is the Bubba Army. I love being able to meet people that otherwise I would have nothing that would necessarily drive me to interact with them and just learn about them and become friends and be able to just learn and grow and help others. So just very thankful for everybody. Thankful for the ladies here and the honorary lady here. That's you, Seth.
For sure. I took my estrogen supplements before we started, so I hope you guys felt safe around me. That you can open up and say things and that.
Yeah, I'd pick you over the bear right now.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for hosting us.
I feel safer with you than Macho. Macho would shoot me.
Macho, I think, would just be scared, ready to get out of here. But
Macho would pump you with some, as he was benching you or something.
Macho's so funny at Barb. He's just. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. But
when Mach is able to drink, and then he has to take his, he has to have a 4-day vacation after every time he does that, But he knows what his body needs. So, and I'll tell you what, the guy's a hell of a worker too. Much like I was, complimenting Lummy early on. Macho, I know Bubba talks about him all the time, but the guy is Johnny on the spot with everything, and he's always thinking ahead. And I think he's a reason why Bubba's been able to, kind of take a step and, get to the next level because of everything that Macho Man's been able to do. So, but
this crew is incredible.
Yes.
Like the personalities are great. Having him behind the scenes, getting everything up and running and rewired, etc. To Rhett stepping in with the video editing.
Yeah.
Gary Cantrell stepping in. It's just everybody is working in sync and everybody gets along, and it's fantastic to see everybody just being in lockstep.
It's the only way to be. It sucks when you have to go home and you bitch about your job and you're like, I hate this person did this. I mean, like that was what I did at Cox every day. And I just was like, I don't want to come home and bother my wife with a bunch of bullshit. So, I mean, it's great to work here. And, like some days are better than others, but I'm not going home and be like, oh my God, you won't believe what Lummy did to me today. Like he made me fucking go out and do this interview. And he was there's nothing like that at all. Like we had a mistake out when we went to do an interview today, and like everybody was taking responsibility for it. Lummy's apologizing. I'm apologizing. Rhett's trying to just figure. I don't think it wasn't Rhett's fault at all, but it was just something that we all figured out here, and I think everybody understands what the goal is at this point, and we want to help Bubba as much as we can. So I appreciate all of you ladies coming in today. I've talked way too much being a boy, but I'll edit myself out though, so don't worry. Hopefully we can do this again. I enjoyed all of you guys. I know that we'll have maybe some rotating stuff, tough schedules, but I thought you all did a great job today. I hope you feel good about it, and I look forward to this episode coming out.
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.